Frontline Socialist Party storms into the Department of Immigration and Immigration demanding citizenship for Kumar Gunaratnam.
Tax amendments that were to come into effect today postponed.
SLFP Central Committee to decide on local government heads who violate the party discipline.
6 of the 8 Indians arrested in Colombo last month were found to have had their kidneys removed. Hello there, very good evening to you and welcome to Prime Time News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studio here in Colombo. Joining me tonight is my co-anchor, Chaturanga Hapwarachi. Very good evening to you, Chaturanga.
Good evening, Stephanie. Good evening to you, our viewers. As usual, let's take a look at some local stories first.
President Maithripala Sirisena held a special discussion to look into the development activities of the historic Timbulagala Aranya Sena Sanaya.
The Mahasangha, including the Venerable Thirukunamale Ananda Anunayaka Thero, Polonnaru Divisional Secretary and state officials participated in this meeting. The program to develop facilities at temples in the district under the Pipidemu Polonnaru or Awakening of the Polonnaru District Development Project commenced today from the Timbulagala Aranya Sena Sanaya. The President emphasized the officials to commence the future development plans of the Aranya Sena Sanaya by May.
Members from the Frontline Socialist Party entered the Department of Immigration and Immigration this evening. They were demanding for citizenship be granted to FSV Politburo member Kumar Gunaratnam.
Yesterday, Politburo member of the Frontline Socialist Party Kumar Gunaratnam was imprisoned for 1 year for violating immigration and immigration laws. Leaders and activists of the Frontline Socialist Party today demonstrated opposite the Department of Immigration and Immigration in Punchiborella, Colombo today. During this period, the police and riot squad was dispatched to the area and the officers of the Department of Immigration and Immigration were locked.
Two letters sent by the Attorney General are inside the Department of Immigration and Immigration. One letter reads, "Do not accept the application for citizenship." The other reads, "Accept the application for citizenship after the conclusion of the case." Today we are here to remind the Immigration and Immigration Commissioner and the Minister that the case, if over, to enact this.
The group then forced their way inside the Department of Immigration and Immigration.
The glass door was broken because of the actions of the police. We were beaten by glass.
Several of them were injured in the altercation.
අර්ජුන මහේන්ද්‍රන් ලංකාවට ආපුවාම
When Arjuna Mahendran arrived in Sri Lanka, his application for citizenship was forwarded at 10 a.m. and by 2 in the afternoon he was granted citizenship. It's been a year since we handed over the application. We have not been notified whether it had been accepted. Vimal Veeravansa was found to have used a fake passport, and before that was revealed, the department made a new passport within 4 hours and sent Vimal Veeravansa to fly overseas.
තමයි විමල් වීරවංශව රට යව්වේ.
කිසිම අයෙක් එහෙම දැනුවත් කිරීමක් කරලා නැහැ. ඇයිද?
We were not informed of such demonstration. There's a court case being taken up over granting citizenship to Kumar Gunaratnam. Courts will order us as to what needs to be done.
කුමක් කළ යුතුද යන්න සම්බන්ධව.
Politburo member of the FSP, Duminda Nagamua, said that he was hospitalized following a blow to his head during the demonstration. 4 police officers were injured in the scuffle and were admitted to the National Hospital. Police media spokesperson ASP Ron Gunasekara said that minimum reasonable force was used to disperse the crowd that attempted to enter into the department building by force. He added that the Department of Immigration and Immigration suffered damages that amount to 200,000 rupees.
The Department of Fiscal Policy of the Finance Ministry says that a number of tax amendments that were to come into effect today have been postponed. This was confirmed to Newsfirst by the Director General of the department.
A number of tax amendments presented through the budget came into effect on the very same day, while others came into effect on the 1st of January. Several tax amendments, including VAT, were to come into effect from today. On the 8th of March, the Prime Minister presented a number of tax amendments to Parliament, which included the increase of VAT. The tax amendments have been forwarded to the Department of the Legal Draftman. The Director General of the Department of Fiscal Policy added that these proposals will be presented to Parliament in the near future.
A number of MPs from the joint opposition called on the General Secretary of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, Martin Shungong, in Geneva.
The delegation, including parliamentarians Dallas Alhaperuma and Bandula Gunavardhana, had handed over a letter to the IPU General Secretary. The letter reads that 52 MPs, including the former President and former Speaker, are operating as a separate group in Parliament, which is now called the Joint Opposition. The letter also notes that joint opposition is being subject to injustice when time is allocated for them in parliamentary debates as well as during committee sessions. It also notes that the government is deliberately engaged in developing a culture of dismissing in cavalier fashion oral questions pertaining to important public issues raised on the floor of parliament. Members from the government responded to the visit undertaken by MPs from the joint opposition. What has the patriot Vimal Veeravansa done after going to Switzerland? The joint opposition is telling tales against the country to others. The people have begun to realize the double standards of this joint opposition. The people have understood that this is being done to sabotage the investigations taking place against them over theft. When the members of the joint opposition go to Geneva, suicide vests are being discovered in the north of the country. GL Pires says that the explosives were to be moved to Velavata and cause an explosion. We suspect the remaining LTTE members and these conspirators are working together and engaging in an act of sabotage. The ones who were accused in Geneva, scolding and labeling the ones who sought Geneva's assistance as traitors, have fallen into the state of seeking assistance from Geneva.
General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Minister Duminda Dissanayake, says that former SLFP local government heads who failed to appear before the disciplinary committee will be reported to the party central committee.
The General Secretary of the SLFP had addressed letters to the former local government heads in question, requesting for reasons for disciplinary action not to be taken against them for expressing views that they would contest under a separate alliance. The persons in question had made such statements during a media briefing convened in Colombo on the 14th of January with the participation of several local government heads. The letters were addressed to the former chairman and mayors of the local government bodies in Walalavita, Attanagalla, Maharagama, Boralaskamuwa, Meerigama, Gampaha, Matale, Moratuwa, Ukwela and Dambulla. The heads of the Moratuwa, Ukwela and Dambulla local government bodies had responded in writing. Thereby the Central Committee, which convened on the 12th of February, had decided to resend letters to remind the other several persons of the matter. The letter requests them to be present for the disciplinary hearing at the party headquarters on the 29th of March. The letter adds that if they fail to do so, a single party inquiry will take place and a report would be directed to the SLFP Central Committee.
If an individual does not participate in the meeting on the 29th, in the letter we clearly stated that it will be considered as the relevant individuals left the party. These persons did not attend the meeting on the 29th. So as the secretary, I forward this report to the Central Working Committee. According to what stated in the report, they will be removed from their party membership.
The report containing information about the former chairman of Valalavita Udeniyathu Korala, former chairperson of Maharagama Kanti Kodikara, former chairman of Borlaskamu Aruna Priyashanta, former chairman of Atnagalla Priyanta Pushpakumara, former chairman of Mirigama Sarat Nandasiri Ranatunga, former chairman of Gampaha Ranjit Gunawardena, and former chairman of Matale Kapila Bandara will be presented to the Central Committee of the SLFP. The Mount Lavinia Magistrate Court ordered for Yoshitha Rajapaksa and a woman said to be his grandmother to appear before the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division on a day between the 18th and the 23rd of April.
Mount Lavinia Magistrate Mohammed Sahabdeen issued this order after taking into consideration a motion filed by the attorneys appearing on behalf of Yoshitha Rajapaksa and his grandmother requesting for a separate date to appear in court. On the 30th, the Mount Lavinia Magistrate ordered for them both to appear before the Police Financial Crimes Investigations Division on a day between the 4th and the 9th of April. They were ordered to appear before the FCID to record a statement over an incident where land surrounding the under-construction house said to belong to former First Lady Shirantha Rajapaksa was purchased under the name of the 88-year-old grandmother through the intervention of Yoshitha Rajapaksa. The magistrate ordered the contractor in charge of constructing the house to appear before courts as well. Police investigations revealed that the plots of land in question located around the house in Mihindu Mawatha in Mount Lavinia were purchased for a sum of 50 million rupees through the intervention of Yoshitha Rajapaksa under the name of his grandmother. The police reported to court that the owners of the land had said that Yoshitha Rajapaksa had coordinated the transaction.
Meanwhile, 101 kilograms of heroin was seized in a joint operation conducted in the southern seas together with the Sri Lankan Navy. The Navy media unit said that the discovery of this haul of drugs was made when a suspicious vessel was subjected to an inspection. The raid was carried out on Wednesday together with the Police Narcotics Bureau. Several Afghan and Pakistani nationals have been arrested along with this haul. The suspects and the seized haul of heroin have been handed over to the Police Narcotics Bureau for further investigations.
Minister of Local Government and Provincial Councils Faiz Mustafa said the local government election will be held when the issues surrounding the demarcation process are resolved. The Appeals Committee on the Demarcation of Boundaries of Local Government Institutions says that the inquiry over appeals will be completed by the 31st of August.
Of the 335 local government institutions, only 23 are in operation. The tenure of 234 local government institutions concluded on the 15th of May last year. The tenure of 65 other local government institutions concluded on the 31st of June last year. In October 2015, the official term of 23 local government institutions were extended until the 31st of December 2015 and were again extended on the 30th of June 2016. Thereby, the 23 local government bodies that were in effect include the Colombo Municipal Council, the Devala Mount Lavinia Municipal Council, the Sri Javadhanapura Kotte Urban Council and the Hambantota Urban Council. The joint opposition state that it is illegal to not hold elections for the local government bodies after 1 year since the elections were postponed. There is a law in the country. According to the election law, the Election Commission will only allow 1 year from the elections to be held for it to be postponed for. That is the maximum time period I can extend it for. That time period is over at 12 midnight. The foundation of democracy is the ability to appoint representatives. If that is not allowed, it is unlawful and it's against the constitution. A fundamental rights petition too has been filed at the Supreme Court by 15 representatives of the Gaul and Mathura local government institutions requesting that the local government elections be held. When the petition was taken up today, the bench headed by Chief Justice stated that the petition could be considered with the Elections Commission and the Attorney General being termed as the respondents of the case. Thereby, it was inquired whether the case could be considered and the presenting of facts on behalf of the Attorney General was postponed to the 29th of April. I would like to state that if the task of this appeals committee was done properly as soon as possible, even 6 months ago, I am ready to hold the elections. Time was given until the 31st of August to complete the report. If it was handed over to me, the elections could have been held. By the 31st of August, we will be able to complete the report with sketches of the maps and boundaries and hand it over. We will never in any way postpone it. The Elections Commission is like the Fire Brigade. We are always ready. The Elections Department was ready. The Elections Commission is even more ready. If Ashoka Piris is saying that it will be ending by the 31st of August, what reason do we have to postpone it any further?
The Colombo Crimes Division informed court that the reports by the judicial medical officers confirm that of the 8 Indian nationals who were recently arrested over a kidney scam, 6 kidneys belonging to 6 of the suspects had been removed.
These facts were revealed when the case was taken up before the Colombo Additional Magistrates Court this morning. It was revealed upon questioning the suspects that one kidney had been sold for 500,000 Indian rupees and that the suspects were yet to receive the promised amounts. The Colombo Crimes Division informed court that 286 documents had been seized from the possession of the suspects, which had been sent through Interpol to India to be submitted for further investigations. Colombo Additional Magistrate Nishanta Piris ordered for the suspects to be remanded until the 4th of May.
Police says that the explosives, including the suicide vest, were discovered from Chavakacheri, Jaffna, have not been defused. Police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara said that as the explosives are required for the investigations of the Terrorist Investigation Division, the explosives were not defused. The TID had commenced an extensive investigation into the discovery under the supervision of Senior DIG of the CID.
A police crackdown on the underworld during the past 2 days had led to several arrests and weapons being confiscated.
3 suspects were arrested last night over their involvement in the murder of Harsha Asri on the 3rd at a house in Valikada. The deceased was one connected to many crimes in the south. The suspects were arrested by the Mirihana Special Crimes Division in Malabe, Rajagiriya and Battanamulla. Police said that among them was Taminda Rohana Parnamana alias Kalusagara, believed to be a member of a criminal gang in the south. Those suspects are charged with murdering 6 persons in 1997 in Angunukala Palace, looting 30 million rupees worth of jewellery from a jewellery store in Vallavatta in 2007 and breaking into a bank in Halyala in 2008 and making away with jewellery worth over 100 million rupees. 9mm firearm, a magazine, a car and a motorbike was seized by the police and court had granted permission to detain and interrogate the suspects. Officers from the Unsolved Crimes Division of Panadura arrested 2 persons along with a firearm close to the Temple Road in Bekkegama, Panadura. A foreign-made live hand grenade, an automatic pistol, 100 grams of Kerala ganja, 4 mobile phones and a car was also seized. Police said that one of the suspects is charged with committing homicide. The suspects had attempted to bribe the officers with 50,000 rupees during the time of arrest and that sum was also confiscated. A protest was staged in Muttur today against the proposed Sampur coal-powered power plant.
The protest, which was staged obstructing the Muttur Batiklo main road, was organized by the Green Team organization. Religious leaders of the area, businessmen, farmers, fishermen and residents of the area took part in this demonstration. The protest was staged for about an hour and the protesters point out that they will be facing difficulties if the proposed Sampur power plant is constructed.
Whether this project will help the Sampur people, it depends on the technology they are going to adapt. If they built on traditional technology, definitely that will affect the Sampur and the neighborhood areas. But if they built on a modern technology with safeguard to the environment, then the hazardous will be very minimum, so people, there is no need to fear. Why Sampur people are more worried, further in addition to the environmental, with the establishment of this factory, the large number of outsiders will come to Sampur to work and their existence will be threatened because they feel they will not get jobs in the thermal plant.
The Sampur power plant is a mistake. The negative effects of the project is high. Norachole is similar to this. Construction of Sampur and power outages are attempts to connect the India-Sri Lanka grid. There is a huge political influence on this.
Minister of Ports and Shipping Arjun Ranatunga arrived at the Human Rights Commission today.
A complaint lodged at the Human Rights Commission by Minister Arjun Ranatunga against the Director General of Sports during the run-up to the cricket elections was taken up for hearing today. The Director General of Sports was also present at the hearing today. The sports teams are chosen under the leadership of Kapila Vijayatunga. There is pressure to change the teams because the teams weren't changed and new selection committee is appointed. Some players who went there returned saying that they can't play. What is happening to cricket today? I have a question as to who the Minister of Sports is today.
The present Minister of Sports say that cricket was destroyed due to an interim committee. What is your opinion on this?
Yes, no one was allowed to steal then. I think that is the problem he has.
Don't you like to join the management?
I say to the entire country that I will take over the sport of cricket along with a good team. I will take over and fix it. I will do it if they like it. If not, the ones responsible will have to take over.
Does it mean that an interim board should be appointed after dismissing the cricket board?
If it continues like this, it will lead to a worse situation. So definitely an interim board will have to be appointed.
Lionel Simmons fired with a bat to carry the West Indies to a nail-biting 7-wicket win in the last over against India in the second semi-final of the World T20 in Mumbai last night. The Caribbean cricket crazy nation will face England in the finals. Take care and good night.